Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the VLA Kickoff Classic, semifinal number 2 coming your way here on Championship Sunday. This match will feature the 2 seed, the Chicago Icemen, against the 3 seed, the Phoenix Ascension. These two teams played yesterday in the last match of pool play. Very different lineups for both teams. However, Chicago absolutely took it to Phoenix, winning 3-0. I'm Rob St. Clair. Thanks for joining us live on the VLA YouTube channel. Lots of great playoff action coming your way today at 11, 2, and 5 p.m. Eastern Time. A lot to talk about these two teams, both of them fighting for the chance to play against New York's team LVC in the championship match. We will announce the starting lineups of both teams, and then we'll get right to some volleyball. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to semifinal number 2 of the VLA Kickoff Classic Playoffs between the number 2 seed, the Chicago Icemen, and the number 3 seed, the Phoenix Ascension. Introducing the starting lineups first from the Phoenix Ascension at setter, number 15, Melcher. At opposite, number 3, Brian Lewis. Outside hitter, number 8, Joe Yakumo. Outside hitter, number 16, Daniel Jacobs. Middle blocker, number 9, Connor Doherty. Middle blocker, number 14, Mark Olson. And libero number 6, CJ Suarez. The Ascension are captained by Vincent Zuki and coached by Kyle Moon. And the Chicago Icemen at setter, number 2, Tim Faulkner. At opposite, number 9, Dan Starkey. Outside hitter number 6, Trevor Weis. Outside hitter number 19, Dave Weis. Middle blocker number 16, Dave Hancock. Middle blocker number 18, Brandon Poindexter. And libero number 1, Peter Jasitis. The Icemen are captained by Tim Faulkner. Our officials are John Rodewald and Liz McHugh. Strap in, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a good one between the Chicago Icemen in blue on the near side of your screen and the Phoenix Ascension in black on the far side. Both teams looking spectacular in the new SMAC uniforms. Chicago's going to start serving. Interesting rotational choice, starting serving in rotation 2 with number 6 in blue, Trevor Weis. Sorry, this is rotation 5, even more interesting. And we're underway. Melcher to Lewis out of the back row, and either blocked or into the net, and Chicago on the board first. Like I said, these two teams played yesterday in the last match of pool play, with Chicago winning convincingly 3-0, but very different lineups for both teams. The stakes much higher here on Championship Sunday, as that serve missed low into the net by Weis. Melcher, number 15 in black, the setter for the Phoenix Ascension, starting us off from the service line. Weis high into the angle and hit out of bounds. A very uncharacteristic error for number 19 in blue. Phoenix should not expect very many of those. We talked about Weis a lot on Friday, got pretty much the whole day off yesterday. First team All-American, MPSF Player of the Year, outstanding collegiate career at Pepperdine from Weis. And then had a very, very good first professional season in Germany this past year. Another guy that got the day off yesterday is number 16 in blue, Dave Hancock. Goes back to serve now. The teammate of mine in college, playing college club ball at Purdue. Conservative serve handled by Suarez. Lewis on the left side into the hands. What a play by Starkey picking it up. Weis against 3 blockers, high over the top and down. What a play by Dan Starkey. My goodness, what a diving move by number 9 in blue. Starkey, the opposite, out of Cal State Northridge. Can play both pins and really flash in the leather there on defense and right back. Hancock again going after it this time and just misses the deep cross-court corner. Tied up at 3 early going here in set number 1. We play best 3 out of 5 sets to 25 points. We must win by 2. If we go 5, as we have several times this weekend, that set will be played only to 15. First serve of the day from Daniel Jacobs goes well long. Daniel's Jacobs, number 16 in black. Explosive, dynamic outside hitter. Was match MVP, and this is the Ascension's win over Team Pineapple on Friday morning. Setter and captain Tim Faulkner serving for Chicago. Float serve working on Jacobs. This will be Lewis on the right side. Sharp cross court and terminates. Nice range from the springy lefty Brian Lewis, number 3 in black, out of the University of Arizona. An absolute mainstay of high-level Arizona adult teams for years. Oh, that serve by Doherty barely fails to clear the tape. Doherty, actually a Chicago boy from the suburb of Aurora, went to college at Grand Canyon in Arizona and has stuck with the Ascension ever since. First look at the service line from Weis in the L1 spot, Chicago leads by 1, 5-4. Good rip and pass by Jacobs, barely kept alive. Yakumo can have a swing at this. High over the hands, dug in transition. Pipe to Weis, high and deep corner again and in. So impressed by the range of number 19 in blue, Big Wave Dave. Out of the pipe and hitting cross, and even harder cross on the left side. Nice block touch that time by Poindexter and Starkey to slow that ball down just a little bit. 6-4 the score. Another good rip. Much better pass from Jacobs. Lewis rejected by Weiskircher. Straight down stuff block by number 6 in blue. Poindexter there as well. Trevor Weiskircher, number 6 in blue. 26-year-old outside hitter out of Lewis University. Has played both pins this weekend. Done an excellent job at both. Weis again, and this is not a server that Phoenix wants to allow to get hot. Pretty good pass by Suarez that time. No block up for Yakumo, but a net violation against Phoenix on the set, I believe. Negating an absolute highlight reel bomb. There's going to be some discussion about this one, but Chicago just got away with a huge break. The point will stay with Chicago. The score now 8-4. Phoenix beside themselves about that call. Weis again, a beautiful pass from Suarez. Olsen out of the middle, beats the block of Poindexter just barely and down. Excellent serve reception from number 6 in purple, CJ Suarez. A libero who in his first action with the Ascension this weekend has been so impressive. Here's Lewis with the float serve. Beautiful pass from Jositis. Poindexter straight over the top of the block and down. Poindexter, obviously such a physical specimen. Just look at him. Named match MVP yesterday against this very same Ascension team. Had an outstanding match hitting and blocking the ball. 9-5 the score here, an early advantage for the Icemen. Easy serve from Poindexter. One-handed set from Melcher to Olsen, blocked by Hancock, kept alive on the Phoenix side. Yakumo high into the hands, barely kept alive by Hancock, and indecision between Weis and Poindexter, and it falls on the Icemen's side. Nice read blocking by number 16 in blue there, but Phoenix walks away with the point. Now 6 serving 9. And we'll see what serve option Yakumo chooses to go with here. 8 in black on the far side. It's going to be the jump spin. Beautiful pass from Jositis. Hancock over the top of the block again. No, that ball's up, and it falls. What a defensive play. I cannot believe that ball came up off the floor. Chicago arguing about a double contact call. I think it was Yakumo with that dig on the far side. That is a huge point for the Phoenix Ascension. An unbelievable defensive play. Everyone thought that point was over, but then tapped over by Olsen. 7 serving 9. Weis high into the hands, and it's going to be good enough to score. Starkey with an absolute cannon of an arm. Very dangerous jump server. There's a lot of space towards both sidelines on the Ascension side. That's where Starkey goes, but he misses it short. Olsen with the easy floater, going to be handled by Jositis. Well located. Starkey out of the back row here, down the line, into the block and covered. Weis against 2 blockers, dug by Olsen. Lewis out of the back row, into the block, and it deflects long. Big transition kill there for Phoenix. And Brian Lewis is starting to heat up in the D-ball spot out of right back. Nice float serve by Olsen that time, working on Jositis deep. Weis dug again down the line miraculously by Yakumo. But a setting mistake and a free ball here for Chicago. Weis again, tipped over the top, dug by Lewis. Free ball here, Chicago's got to have this point. Weis, and they do, right on the end line out of the pipe. Inspired defense by Joe Yakumo, a guy who we're going to talk a lot about. The player with by far the most high-level experience on the Phoenix roster, but his experience in A1 Italy was as a setter. Came back stateside and decided, you know what, gonna play some outside hitter now. What a dig by Jositis. And right on the sideline by Weis, falling away from the ball. What a dig by number 1 in white, Peter Jositis, the Chicago Icemen, former NCAA national champion with Loyola Chicago in 2014. An absolute floor general, taking up so much space in serve receive and such a defensive leader. Both liberos going to be on full display in this match. Weis with a 3-point lead. Perfect pass for the Phoenix Ascension. Yakumo tipped out of the pipe. And a diving Jositis can't come up with a pancake play. Yakumo, just as I'm talking about him, showing how phenomenally well-rounded he is in all areas of the volleyball game. Such impeccable vision. Knows exactly when to use all the tools in his bag, the off-speed shots, and then when to bring out the hammer. Melcher, the setter, with the jump serve, and that's going to go out of bounds, watched by Weis and Jositis. The thing that really separated Chicago from Phoenix yesterday when these two teams played was service pressure. There were runs of 4 or 5 points in a row where Phoenix could barely keep the ball alive off the serve. That's a really good pass from Suarez. Outside to Lewis, into the block is covered. Chicago here, Weis on the left side, down the line, dug by Melcher. Can Lewis run this down? Yes. Free ball coming. Poindexter, cross-body, Melcher, this ball's going in, dug by Weis. Weis again, cross-court, dug by Suarez, right on the net and overpassed. And then finally put away Weis again over the top. What a point from both teams. Some incredible defense by Phoenix, but unable to ever get a real transition swing out of any of them. And Chicago just overpowering. Eventually terminating on the overpass by Weis. And Chicago leads by 4. Serving 10. Hancock cuts that one short. Jacobs on the right side, rolled over the top. Beautiful dig by Hancock. Weis Kircher out of the pipe, over the top of the block, and it falls. What a defensive play by number 16 in blue. And there's been a lot of middle defense played this weekend, which every bench just absolutely loves to see. But Hancock, a sensational athlete, not fooled by that off-speed shot from Jacobs. 15-10, a really nice start here for Chicago. Hancock going after this one. Pretty good pass from Jacobs. Lewis, sharp cross court and right on the sideline. Beautiful swing by the lefty. Jacobs looking to be explosive from the service line here. His team trails by 4. Too much that time again on the jump serve. Faulkner, a patented pre-serve routine, spinning the ball up as he steps on the end line. Delivering the float serve. See who he targets. It's going to be Jacobs' hands. Yakumo rejected by Starkey. What a move by number 9 in blue. Reaching back into a small seam that Yakumo thought he could beat. And a huge stuff block by Chicago, another big strength of theirs that they used in yesterday's win over Phoenix. Rotation 2 received here for the Ascension. Would not at all doubt that Melcher goes back to Yakumo. Right on cue, Yakumo dug into the sharp cross court but overpassed. Doherty into the chest of Jositis and down. Connor Doherty, a heck of a player. Saw a little bit of time at outside hitter yesterday. His natural middle blocker spot here, and he goes back to serve. He's a pretty vicious floater. Look how far up the Chicago passers are. They're all trying to hand pass this ball. Starkey into the block and scores cross court. Starkey has just about one speed only, and that is pedal to the metal. No off speed in his arsenal, and that's just the way he likes it. I talked to him yesterday on one of the broadcasts. And I love the way he just kind of swings the reckless abandon, never fears the block. And now Chicago in really nice position here, up by 6, with arguably their best server back at the line in Weis. What a rip and rope pass right on the net, tapped down by Starkey on the overpass. And the pressure put on by Weis right on cue. Chicago looking pretty comfortable here in set 1. Siding out at really high efficiency and letting it fly from the service line. Weis again. All the way out to Yakumo over the top of the block. Did he get the touch? Yes, he did. Nice, smart, cagey shot by Yakumo. All he wanted there was to get the fingertips of the block. Had no intentions of putting that ball on the court. And he's doing that intentionally, a characteristic of a really high-level, experienced pin hitter in the game of volleyball. Poindexter into the block. Can't quite be covered by Jositis. And a nice read by number 14 in black, Mark Olson, shutting the door on Poindexter. And Ascension not going away without a fight here, trailing only by 5, 14-19. Poindexter again, this time dug, but overpassed. Chicago have another go at this. Starkey on the right side, down the line, dug by Suarez. Barely misses the ceilings, ball still alive. Joust won by Yakumo. Weiskircher cross court. Did he get the touch? It looked to me like he did. And yes, the touch is called by our line judge on the far side. Chicago takes the point off the tool by Weiskircher, and they lead once again by 6. Poindexter serving here against Ascension's rotation 4. Perfect pass from Yakumo. Look at the run by Olsen, but what a read by Weiskircher. We have yet to see a team all weekend stop Mark Olsen running completely along the net like that and jumping towards his setter. But Weiskircher doing a great job staying home, and a big stuff block for Chicago. Again, and this time Olsen on the exact same run barely beats the block of Hancock and down. Another nice repeat set by Zach Melcher, and that's a characteristics of a setter that other teams will see in the scouting report. If he has a strong tendency to repeat set to hitters right after they've been blocked or hit out of bounds. Jump serve by Yakumo, handled by Jositis, all the way back to the backside to Starkey, crushed down the line. And the Suarez dig can't quite be kept alive by Lewis. And Starkey there getting the better of his former college teammate at Cal State Northridge, CJ Suarez. (22-15) the score. Really great pass by Suarez. Rolled over the top by Jacobs. Picked up by Weis. He's pretty much out of the play. Free ball coming here from Chicago. Jacobs through the block and down. And that's a piece that the Ascension really want to get hot here. The dynamic hitting, number 16, Daniel Jacobs, out of the NAIA's Ottawa University in Kansas. A new addition to the Ascension this year. So explosive. And the Ascension is going to need points from one other source other than Lewis and Yakumo. Jacobs needing to step up and be that guy. Olsen serving down by 6, and that way out of bounds on the float serve. Chicago needing only 2 more points to get on the board here in set number 1. And Weiskircher will serve here against rotation 6. Tries to pull that one across and misses it short. Setter Zach Melcher out of Grand Canyon University here for Phoenix. Good size, 6'4", and really physical. Has a good jump serve. This team's got an uphill battle to climb. Got to start with some service pressure. That one's way too easy. Hancock over the top of the block in the middle, and that is absolutely unstoppable. Beautiful delivery from Faulkner. And now Hancock serving with 7 set points for the Chicago Icemen. Just a bit outside on the serve as that one hits the back wall on a fly. Hancock way underneath that ball. No harm done, though. Chicago needs 1 side out in the next 6 points to take this set, but we've seen some crazy comebacks here this weekend. Weis sharp cross court, and a touch detected off the top of the block, and that'll do it for set number 1. 25-18, a very comfortable, smooth-looking win for the Chicago Icemen, looking to advance to the finals to play Team LVC this evening. We'll be right back in 3 minutes or so with set number 2 from the VLA Kickoff Classic semifinals. Stay tuned. Looking forward to set number 2. I got Ascension captain Vince Zanzuki here with me on the mic. Vince, I think what I saw there in that first set is that Chicago just looked comfortable the whole time. I think they looked pretty comfortable inside out in transition. What's the key to taking them out of their comfort zone?
Serving the ball in. I mean, we missed 7 serves, and 7 serves is the point difference with 7 points. I mean, it's really easy to look comfortable siding out when every single ball's going in the net or out of bounds. So, I mean, good job by Icemen by settling in and handling the ball when it came to them, but we got to give it to them a little bit more.
What I did like from your guys is playing some inspired defense, and that's, I think, kind of a hallmark of your team. But the difference is, I think, turning those into transition swings instead of just free balls. What's the key to doing that?
Honestly, the attackers just need to be a little bit more aggressive. I mean, we get a ball coming to. I mean, we're settling for setting the ball over or sending over a free ball off the platform. We just got to swing it a couple balls, maybe even put an aggressive tip, take the setter out of position, things like that, and it's just be a little bit smarter with it instead of just give them a free ball back to the libero for them to transition.
Well, a lot of volleyball left to play. We're looking forward to it. Thanks, Vince. Huge shout-outs to Coley Polakowski and her husband Dan live in Denmark doing some unofficial stats for us. You can see her in the chat, but want to reiterate the Icemen attacking so far. Weis leading the match with 6 kills on 9 attempts. Weis 3 for 6. Starkey 3 for 4. Some pretty good offense by the 3 Icemen pins. And Melcher serves first here to get set number 2 underway, and that's going to be an ace. Actually, no, it's not. That ball traveled outside the antenna. We're going to play on, though. Phoenix takes the point anyway, but I think that ball did travel outside the antenna. Interesting, Melcher going for the float serve that time instead of his traditional jump spinner, but nicely targeted at Trevor Weis. And just as I had Vince Zanzuki talking about serving the ball in, keeping the ball in play there pays off for Phoenix. That one clips either Starkey or Weis, one of the two in the back row there. And another float service ace. Exactly what Captain Vince Zanzuki was telling his team to do on the sidelines here, and already paying off with a 2-0 advantage. That's a good pass from Weis. Weis high cross court, dug by Suarez off the block touch. Jacobs into the block of Hancock. Nice touch. Chance here for Chicago. Weis again. Sharp cross dug by Jacobs. Rolled over the top into the block and down on the Chicago side. Exactly the turnaround start the Phoenix Ascension we're looking for. Chicago kind of trapped here in rotation 5. And Chicago may have gotten used to a few gifts from Phoenix in the last set by Zanzuki's count 7 service errors. And a nice run there by Melcher ends with the float serve out of bounds. Hancock the first server here for Chicago. Beautiful pass from Yakumo. A one-handed set and tapped to the floor by Doherty. What a play by Zach Melcher. You can see that coming from a mile away, hovering into the air. And picking that ball off the top of the net, Zach Melcher dishing his teammate. 4-1 the start. See how conservative Jacobs is here with the jump server, or if he's kind of given the green light after missing 2 in set 1. That one missed again. And Jacobs still continuing to look for an answer from the service line. Good couple rotations coming up here for Chicago. Tim Faulkner, the float server, does a really good job of targeting the right players. I would go after Jacobs here if I were the Chicago. Looking on Suarez's platform, really good pass. Doherty again, wrist away on the 31, crushed to the floor. Connor Doherty has had a heck of a weekend. I'm so impressed by what he's able to do spacing the floor as a middle in the offense. Weis straight down the line on the right side, wrist away. What a rip by number 19 in blue. On the right side, only one rotation out of the 6. Knowing that his comfortable shot on the left side is wrist away cross court, I'm not surprised that he can pull that ball down the line like that. And now going back to serve, looking to level this thing up. The Icemen trail by 2. Pretty good pass from Jacobs. Nice push by Melcher, maybe a little bit too far for Yakumo. A big opportunity here. Weis down the line, he overcuts it out of bounds. That was a nice looking opportunity for Chicago, not taken advantage of, and Phoenix sides out kind of the hard way, and they lead again 6-3. Lewis sticking with the theme of his team right now, float serving the ball, trying to keep it in bounds. Poindexter into the block of Olsen, and he's roofed. Nice read by Olsen, taking away the likely shot of Poindexter there, cross body, coming from the right sideline. Likely to hit with his approach path. Olsen up high and spreading his arms nice and wide to take away both the corners. Faulkner to Starkey down the line, hit out of bounds again, overcut again down the line. And a couple hitting errors strung together here for Chicago. Phoenix leads by 5 here in the early going. Starkey again has to tip this one over. It's going to work. Chicago gets away with it. Nice adjustment by number 9 in blue. And the game plan here for Phoenix of just serving the ball in bounds, making Chicago earn their points, absolutely working out so far. Poindexter, a pretty conservative float server. Gonna have to come in and play some defense. Yakumo over the top of the block. What a dig by Weis. Weis all the way inside with his feet. Dug by Suarez. Jacobs tipped over the top. Dug by Starkey. Weis right into the deep corner and in. What a high swing by number 6 in blue. Doing a great job of getting his feet to the ball in some kind of out-of-system situations. And an excellent transition point by Chicago there off the tip pickup. Great dig by Weis early in the rally. And Poindexter continues to serve. Look at Olsen again running parallel to the net and tagging that ball on the sideline, wrist away. Interesting to see who Phoenix kind of designates as their green light servers, guys with the permission to go after it in a jump serve. Yakumo would have to be a leading candidate for that. We already saw Jacobs miss one earlier in the set. It will be the jump spinner. Beautiful pass from Weis. Hancock straight down out of the 31. Nice feed from Faulkner again, running a nice offense so far. 6 serving 9 for Dan Starkey. And speaking of green light servers, Starkey always going to give this thing everything he's got. Look at all the space to Yakumo's right in the Ascension service receive pattern. Turns out he's standing exactly in the right spot, but still can barely handle that ball. Free ball coming here for Chicago. Weis through the block and off of Jacobs and out of play. And the service pressure of the Icemen, the story of pretty much the whole weekend for them, generating an easy transition opportunity. And they capitalize, now trailing only by 2. Starkey again working on Yakumo. A free ball in the overpass. Hancock crushed to the floor, wrist away. And Chicago clawing right back into this thing on the serve of Dan Starkey. And a smart timeout here from the Phoenix Ascension, not trying to let Starkey continue to get any more hot back there. They cling to a 1-point lead on the timeout. We'll be back in a minute after the break.
decision, why not make that decision starting right? Like, what changed between that set, in that first set?
7 services.
Is that what happened? Seven services?
That's a lot.
That's too many. What did they lose by?
7.
Stupid volleyball, dude. Such girls play this game.
Out of the timeout, Starkey serving again. See if he continues to bring the heat. Yes, he does. Perfect pass by Suarez. Lewis down the line and just out of bounds. Overcut crossbody. I think that was a good call. It looked like he missed the sideline just by an inch or two. Missed opportunity there for Phoenix off a really good pass. And Starkey now going to go after this one even more. Tied up at 9. Clips the tape, handled by Suarez again. Jacobs, nice high swing into the hands, dug by Jasitis. Weiskircher for the lead, dug by Yakumo. That's a really good high swing from Jacobs. Did he get the touch? None detected, right? Oh yes, called on the honor system by Chicago, whichever blocker touched that. Did a nice job of being honest about the touch. Nice high swing from Daniel Jacobs, and Phoenix retakes the lead. And Olsen here for the Ascension, one of those float servers, is being told that he's just got to keep the ball in. Actually, no, that'll be kind of a hybrid. Really passed nicely by Jasitis. Starkey out of the back row. What a stab by Yakumo. And that bump set way outside the court. An unforced error by Brian Lewis in Phoenix. Heck of a dig by Yakumo. Goes by the wayside, and we're tied up at 10 again. Weis to the front row. Suarez barely able to keep that ball in play. This will be a free ball at best. Weis one-on-one through the block of Melcher and down. And you can tell how incredibly biased Weis is towards the cross-court shot. That ball a little bit past his right shoulder, still getting across it to the inside and pulling it sharp angle. Kid's really dedicated to the one shot that everybody knows he has. Just out of bounds on the jump serve, and we're tied up again at 11. Melcher for the Ascension with the float serve. Had 2 aces already at the start of the set. Weis again beats the block cross court. Look how high he's contacting that ball. A pretty well-formed block against him. Just so hard to stop. A ball contacted at the top of the antenna and hit sharp cross court. The angles are just not what any team is used to seeing. Here's Hancock from the service line. Cuts that one short, handled nicely by Suarez. Another one-handed set Melcher, and he's roofed. Doherty, that is roofed by Poindexter. Nice read by big number 18 in blue, knowing that off that one-handed set, middle was almost the only option. And he swallows that one up and gives Chicago a 2-point lead, their biggest of the set. Remember, they won set 1, 25-18. Jacobs on the right side into the high hands of Weis and out of play. And a nice swing by number 16 in black, who saw a little bit of time at opposite yesterday against the Chicago Icemen. No, actually, sorry, that was against LVC on Friday when Ascension came back from down 2-0 to force 5. Jacobs was a spark plug off the bench on the right side. Heater of a serve, handled really well by Jasitis. Starkey out of the back row, over the top, and no touch detected. And on the hitting error, Phoenix ties it up again at 13. Rotation 6 receiver for Chicago. Another really good pass. Weis, that time pulling it down the line. And off the shoulder of Lewis and out of bounds. The block from Phoenix, reacting to the scouting report and moving really, really far inside. As they probably should, to be honest, but Weis with good vision. He knows he has to bite the bullet and hit lines sometimes. keeping the block honest, gives his team a 1-point advantage as Faulkner goes back to serve again. Working on the front throw, outside hitter Yakumo down the line. What a set by Melcher. Sharp cross court. Lewis is dug. Can decide to send this over. Yes, but out of bounds, and Ascension take the point. Good short float serve by Doherty. And a beautiful one-handed set by Faulkner to Poindexter, who taps it down through the block. And since that Dan Starkey service run that got Chicago back into this set, they seem to have sided out pretty much perfectly since struggling a little bit to handle float serves early in the set. The Ascension's plan has worked to keep them in this thing, but it might come down to a little bit more service pressure, especially as Chicago continues to unleash. That went out of bounds that time. Weis out of the pipe, into the block in Yakumo and just out of bounds. A pretty well-formed triple block there against Weis on the pipe out of system. But he beats it anyway, and Chicago leads by 1. Missed hand contact by Olsen that time badly on the 31. That ball maybe a tiny bit underset. The connection not quite there, and that's a big point on the Chicago serve, as well as they've been siding out lately. Yakumo high into the hands, diving play by Weis keeps it alive. Weiskircher for a 3-point lead is roofed by Olsen. Big block from number 14 in black. And Phoenix needed that point desperately. Yakumo, the former high-level setter, turned outside hitter. Extremely important player for this team, obviously, and an ace serve wrist away right on the sideline. What a snipe from number 8 in black. No chance for Weiskircher on that one, and we're tied up at 17. Excellent locational jump serving. Cuts that one short, handled by Weis, but he's out of the offense. Starkey on the right side, into the block of Jacobs, nice and high. Faulkner covers it. Platform set out here to Weiskircher against one blocker, dug by Yakumo. Free ball here, Chicago. Weiskircher again. Suarez can run this down. Melcher sends over the free ball. Hancock out of the middle, another dig from Yakumo. Jacobs cross court. Can Starkey run this down? Yes. And Chicago can't quite send it over, and Phoenix takes the lead. What incredible defense from Joe Kay in the back row, keeping his own service run alive with 2, maybe 3 digs in that same play. Amazing middle back defensive reactions from a guy who grew up playing the right back wing defensive slot only, proving how ridiculously good this guy is at all areas of the game. 18-17 Phoenix. And just as I give him praise, he misses that serve short, but a nice service run. Getting his team back into this thing. Starkey, who's basically to thank for Chicago being in the set with that service run earlier. And that's Phoenix off the hook by missing that jump serve just out of bounds. Sigh of relief here from the Ascension, and a good use of a service sub coming in here. Number 13, Brad Friesen. The backup libero replaces Mark Olsen to serve and play some defense. Phoenix leads by 1. Hancock over the top of the block, and a dive in Yakumo can't keep it alive. Hancock up so fast, grabbing that ball right out of Faulkner's hands, contacting it probably in the 11-foot area code. And a blocker, even at Doherty's size at about 6'7", is going to have to commit on that in a perfect pass in order to get a good touch, as high as Hancock's contacting that ball. 19-19. Good competitive set number 2 here. Weis, conservative jump serve handled by Yakumo. The slide kind of just Doherty off one foot is dug off the block touch. Starkey out of system into the block, picked up by Doherty. Free ball here, Chicago. Weis, sharp cross into the chest of Suarez. But stabbed at and it goes out of play by Melcher. Chicago takes the lead. Talking about Dave Hancock's hitting effectiveness, 3 kills and 5 swings with no errors in this set. Similar stat line for Weis so far, as he continues to be the go-to guy in and out of system on the left pin. Good rotation here for Chicago. Weis serving on Jacobs. Yakumo out of the pipe. Nice block touch from Faulkner. Hancock again. This time a good block touch slows it down. Jacobs way out of system against 2 blockers. Through the block of Hancock and down. And a huge swing for number 16 in black. Ending a pretty long rally. And squaring this thing up again at 20 for Phoenix. Again, this is the second of 2 semifinals. These 2 teams fighting to reach the championship game and play the New York's team LVC in the finals this afternoon. Weis again, hammered sharp cross court. And Suarez not even close to in the right position to dig that ball. And left back that time. 21-20, 1 point on serve here for Chicago, and any of these next couple rotations could be massive. Pass to about 15 feet by Yakumo. Jacobs into the block, is covered barely. Suarez can run this down. Rejected by Poindexter, one-on-one. I think Yakumo lost that ball into the light. And that's exactly right on cue. The point on serve that Chicago is looking for, now leading by 2. Is Phoenix going to use a timeout here? No, it looks like they won't. And in rotation 1, where they struggle a little bit with the lefty on the left side, no, there is the timeout. Smartly taken by Phoenix. Got to slow this Icemen momentum down. And the business end of set 2 coming up here after the break. Stay with us.
They suck in roll 1. Why not have 16 pass on the middle? Have freaking that middle likes to run the slide. Just let them run it back 2 off the center. Run freaking Lewis in our front 2, whatever. Who cares? You're not going to set him because he sucks over there. And then freaking set your outside. So you got 2 options, or you got 3 options. You set the big, set the back 2 slide thing, or set the
22-20, Chicago out of the timeout. They can side out 3 times and win this set. For Phoenix, they must get out of rotation 1 right here. A rotation we know that they struggle with. Handled easily by Suarez. Doherty out of the middle, tip to the floor, pancake play not quite able to be made by Hancock. And nice work out of the timeout. Melcher running by far the most effective option in rotation 1. His middle Connor Doherty, who's having a nice offensive efficiency performance so far. So that's the easy part, though, if you're Phoenix. Now they need a point on serve. And Jacobs, who seems to have the green light, yet to really find the court in this match with the jump spinner. Jacobs continuing the trend, unfortunately missing that ball long. And Chicago sides out the easy way, 23-21. Faulkner serving, but a better receiving rotation here for Phoenix. Nice pass by Jacobs. Doherty again, really good block touch. Chicago for a huge insurance point, and Starkey wins the joust. No, never mind. Starkey touched that ball last. Good play from Yakumo, initiating the joust and throwing it off the block. Not a great set from Faulkner that time. Phoenix sides out in the float serve here from Doherty. Poindexter, good block touch. But what a play by Starkey. That ball popped right back up on top of the net off the block touch. And Starkey aware enough to get his feet there and hit it down on one. And that brings up set point, 24-22. And a very lethal server, obviously, in Dave Weis. Phoenix needing a side out first to stay alive here and avoid going down 0-2. Good serve into the seam, and that's going to be an ace. Chicago, after going down a little bit early, pulls back level and then pulls away at the end. Weis with the ace to put set 2 in the books. 25-22, the final score. And a crushing blow for the Phoenix Ascension. A well-played set, turning around their service error mistakes in set 1. Does not result in a set victory. The 2-0 set score. The Icemen looking towards the finals. We'll be right back in a few minutes with set number 3. It's my pleasure to be joined here in the break between sets by the owner of this building, the co-founder of this league, Mr. Loy Ball. So we've talked a lot about Team Pineapple on the weekend. I want to more ask about the success of this weekend from a league perspective. You're obviously so involved with this thing, jumped through all the hoops to put this event even together. And a couple milestones we've achieved as a league so far on the weekend with some great volleyball we've been putting out there. What have you seen so far this weekend that gives you optimism going forward?
Well, one, it's just been a wonderful event. You know, the 7 board members have done a great job of putting this together here at BSA. The 4 teams that are here have named great players, as well as some new young talent that hopefully will get themselves promoted in the VLA. I think just the fact that we've had some great viewership thus far already, to be able to monetize some of that. You know, any new league who is trying to start from a grassroots area, you know, it takes time, and so we have the product, and then we're seeing now the results of people enjoying the product. Now you monetize the product, and then hope over the next couple of years we have this wonderful league that pays players to stay at home and play high-level volleyball.
Couldn't have said it better. A huge milestone that we've reached, getting the next step towards getting money from these YouTube views, and everybody tuning into the stream is helping us out in doing that. So what can everyone else do throughout the rest of this day to help us reach our goals even quicker?
Well, obviously the guys just need to continue to play high-level volleyball, as this match you see right here with Ascension and Ice. I mean, some wonderful athletes playing great high-level volleyball. I'm sure hopefully the next match with ours will be similar, with a great final coming, of course, at 5 o'clock with the #1 seed LVC out of New York. Biggest thing is that those who really are volleyball enthusiasts, people who, like myself, have loved the game since the age of 4, we don't need you to send us money, right? We don't want charity, but if you like what you see, spread the word and watch. And let people know that once we get through this COVID situation, hopefully next year we'll have our true first season with our affiliations with USAV, JVA, and AAU. Come out, watch us play, support us that way. You know, in today's society, it's not necessarily about having a stadium and ticket sales. It's about viewership. And so what an easy way to watch great volleyball here in our YouTube channel.
Free, infinitely accessible, So just send the links to all the people you know. The whole world kind of starved for sports content right now, and we're giving it to them. This weekend has proved that people really like what they're seeing, and we've loved the numbers that we've been seeing in our YouTube analytics. It's been awesome to see everyone's support. So, yeah, more high-level volleyball coming your way today. Thanks, Lloyd, for being such a huge part of everything that we're doing here, hosting, putting everything together, and even throwing the rock around a little bit when you get on the floor.
Well, the throwing the rock obviously is something I do less and less every year. It's everyone knows that I'm obviously 48 years old, don't play as much volleyball as I used to, nor do I pretend to be the guy who won a gold medal in '08. But I'm really proud of our team. Obviously, we only have the one win thus far. Hopefully, we'll get our second one and get a bronze medal out of this weekend. But we have to start over. You know, we had so many great players for so many years dominate in all kind of different leagues here in the States that eventually they all stopped playing. And so now it's time for Team Pineapple to kind of rejuvenate themselves with some young talent, mixed in with a little seasoning, a little older guys. But this weekend's been a great thing for our team as well. Just young kids getting an opportunity to play some of the greatest players in our country.
And yeah, that one you guys picked up yesterday was huge for the confidence of a bunch of young, core, new players for Team Pineapple. It's a fascinating process to see a team turn over from guys of your generation to guys of literally your son's generation. And kind of the way to do it is just throw them into the fire and make them play some volleyball. And they've done a good job doing that so far, and they're going to get another chance this afternoon.
Yeah, great example. You know, yesterday we were up 24-21, and most times, you know, in the past, that's an absolute win for Team Pineapple. But a lot of those young kids in that group have not been in that situation, especially against a great team. And so all of a sudden you lose 26-24, and they're shaking their heads. You got to take those lumps sometimes. You got to figure it out. And you can't always have Coach Gebert or Lloyd Ball come in to save the day. You got to learn to save it yourself. So great learning lessons this weekend. I'm just real happy everybody's here. Hopefully enjoying Ball Sports Academy and Angola, Indiana on our country's 4th of July celebration.
Well, we absolutely are. Couldn't have think of a better facility to host us this weekend. Just kind of a bastion of high-level adult volleyball the past several years. So thanks for all you've done this weekend, and we're going to get back to the match here as the Icemen looking to finish off a sweep. I'm a little bit surprised by that. How about yourself?
Yeah, I thought initially the first set, I thought Ascension played a little timid. You know, the setter wasn't locating the ball as well as I know he can. I thought last set, you know, with LJ and I were talking anybody's game, 19-all, 20-all. But sure enough, when you get big number 19 here on the Icemen, go back to serve, good things happen. And it just so happened that rotation showed up, and obviously David finished it off with an ace. For the Ascension to come back in here, one, they can't make service errors like that. But two, they have to get out of the rotation when number 19 for the ice or their big middle is also jump serving. They just score so many points with that high-powered serve. If you don't side out the first ball, it's a 3-4 point run every time.
Absolutely, and that's exactly what Vince, the Ascension captain, told me after set one is that they were going to choose a service strategy of extreme conservatism, float serving the ball in the court, which is the exact opposite of the Icemen are doing. Look at that rip by 19. Like, come on. Nice block touch, but Lewis registers the kill cross court. A total difference in service philosophy, and the Icemen winning the battle so far, just applying enough pressure to chip away on serve, and the conservatism of float serving the ball in the court. Good not to throw points out of bounds on service errors, but not enough to make the Icemen uncomfortable.
Yeah, if the Icemen are insistent, they're just too tough. You know, they fire on all cylinders. You know, obviously Starkey at opposite, he helps balance the court. You got the two guys coming out of the BIC. Right now, I would be a little bit more risky with my serve. If I was Ascension, just try to get them off the net so your blocking defense has a chance to set up, because otherwise Tim's going to pick them apart. Yeah.
I agree. Thanks so much, Lloyd, for joining us on the mic. Awesome insights, and thanks for everything you've done this weekend. Pretty evenly matched set number 3 here. Tied up at 4 as Poindexter goes back to serve for Chicago. Nice swing by Yakumo. A really good block touch by Starkey. He'll get this ball off the set of Weis. High over the hands, and he scores. What a great high-level play. A great block touch and a beautiful high swing off the hands by number 9 in blue, Dan Starkey. This team takes the lead 5-4, and got to give Dave Weis a shout out for the set that time. Perfectly located. Yakumo rolled over the top, stabbed at by Hancock, but can't be kept alive. One thing that I do think is a strength of the Ascension team is scoring with off-speed offensive shots. Yakumo especially does a great job seeing the block and knowing when the tip off the hands or the roll right over the top is likely to score. The Icemen kind of a more swing-away sort of team, but that's because they can get away with that. They don't really need off-speed offense. Nice pass from Weiskircher. Hancock through the hands of Olsen. Doug. Lewis for the lead into the block of Hancock and out of bounds. And Ascension, another strength of theirs, is playing with a lot of high energy all the time. They can ride that self-generated momentum, hopefully towards making some more plays. And Yakumo jump serving here with a 1-point lead, cuts that one short. Beautiful pass by Jositis. Starkey dug by Yakumo again. Wyzorek out of the pipe, just misses it, wrist away out of bounds. Wish I had the numbers on the number of digs for Joe Yakumo in middle back. That guy is touching everything. Always in the right spot for balls that deflect off the hands or make it through the block. Perfect pass. Starkey down the line, dug by Suarez. Beautifully done. And the setter dump attempt by Melcher, absolutely thrown back down by Weiskircher. And an incredible dig by CJ Suarez, not capitalized on by the Phoenix Ascension. Starkey kind of becoming the guy here for the Chicago offense, at least lately. 6 serving 7. He's got a chance to do some damage here. Perfect pass by Yakumo again. And nicely, casually chopped down the line by Lewis. And a lot of the volleyball world will know about the langle, the line angle. The swing on the pins that goes to the outside of the blockers but ends up towards the middle back of the court because the block gives so much line. Olsen with the hybrid, beautiful pass. Hancock is roofed by Sam Haggard. Number 5 in black enters the match in the outside hitter spot in a one-handed rejection. Nice work by the outside hitter, helping against the middle attack. Dan Palikowski in the chat saying Arizona has 23 digs on the match. That is absurd in just over 2 sets. But digs don't mean anything if you don't turn them into points. And Phoenix, despite the defense, trails 2-0. They do lead 9-6 here, though, in set 3. That hybrid serve missed into the tape. Haggard, number 5 in black, his first action of the match. Outside hitter out of Arizona State. Good short serve by Weiskircher, but a perfect pass. Haggard down the line, and he's rejected by Faulkner. What a right-handed reach by number 2 in blue. Not allowing himself to get tooled by Haggard, and that block right on the sideline. What a move by Chicago's fearless leader. Weiskircher serving down only by 1. Going after that serve a little bit more. Another good pass by Suarez. Haggard again is rejected by Hancock, but kept alive. And somehow it rolls over the tape. And Jositis can't quite pick it up. What a lucky break there for Phoenix. Excellent block coverage. I'm not sure who the 2 touches were there by Phoenix. Maybe Yakumo and Melcher, not sure. But a lucky break for Phoenix. See if they can take advantage. Melcher here with the foot serve from the left sideline. Kind of unusual. Wyzorek, high cross court and down again. The Phoenix block searching for answers on how to stop that high hard angle swing. Hancock serving down by 1. Rotation 1 receive here for Phoenix. And we talked about how they struggle in that rotation with Lewis on the left side. He's going to get this ball against 2 blockers. And he's roofed by Poindexter right on cue, who does a great job sealing the seam. It is so important, just like Volleyball said on the mic when I had him on earlier in this set, for Phoenix to get out of rotation 1 right away. And any of the rotations where Chicago's jump servers are really going after it, putting on the heat. Good short serve handled by Suarez. Olsen out of the middle. Sorry, that's Doherty who's dug. Faulkner to Weiskircher, high off the block, dug by Melcher. Another stuff block. No, that time it makes its way through the block on the Chicago side. Lewis gets away with a low swing into the seam, and there's the side out that Phoenix was looking for. Haggard's first look from the service line is going to be a floater. Starkey on the right side, down the line, beautifully put away right on the end line. I love how Starkey's so willing to hit the ball down the line from the right. Not every right-hander comfortable doing that. He looks for that first. And he told me a funny story yesterday about why he does that. His coach in college at Cal State Northridge just insisted, and I quote, "Line doesn't work in this league." That made Starkey want to hit the ball down the line even more. And a mistake there by Brandon Poindexter, biting for the fake of Zach Melcher, who is a back row player and couldn't touch the ball. Poindexter missed that one into the net, and despite having 5 blocks in this match, according to Pawlikowski on the stats, a mistake there gives Phoenix another 1-point advantage, 12-11. Weis on the right side into the block and can't be covered. Yakumo and Olsen there. Two-point lead here for Phoenix. Another good float serve coming here from Doherty. Down the line, Weis hand passes it. Starkey and through the block of Lewis and down. Beautiful delivery from Faulkner, setting up the one-on-one. Weis here served an ace to win set number 2. This could be a huge opportunity for Chicago in this service rotation to push for a little bit of a lead here. They trail by 1, 12-13. Pretty good pass from Haggard. This will be Yakumo on the left side over the top of the block, and beautifully roll shot right into the donut. Center of the court where none of the defenders are, and I praised Yakumo's off-speed vision earlier. On display there again. The exact correct offensive choice for the situation. Thrown to the floor on the overpass by Yakumo, and Phoenix leads by 3. (15-12) there off the reception mistake by Weiskircher. Lewis goes after him again. That pass a little bit better. It's going to be Starkey on the right side. Through a small seam in the block and in on the end line. Nice high rip by Starkey and a little bit of a blocking mistake by Phoenix, leaving that seam available. (13-15) Poindexter serve in Haggard's hands. Yakumo, a nice block touch dug by Poindexter. Another set from Weis to Starkey, high off the hands and terminated again. An excellent block touch by Hancock and Faulkner to slow that one down. No, that was Starkey, excuse me, on the block touch. And the dig terminated on the high ball in transition by Starkey. Chicago trails by 2. Another good block touch. Faulkner one-handed set. Starkey has to send over a free ball. Another roll shot, this time dug by Faulkner. And Starkey does a nice job taking some kind of a swing at that. Yakumo out of the play, almost sitting on the floor, sends over the free ball. Chicago's got to have this one, down by 1. Weiskircher over the top, dug by a diving Haggard. Faulkner has to take this ball. And a missed opportunity for Chicago again. Crazy rally developing here. Olsen into the block and Poindexter diving. Can't quite make the play. And a crazy rally there. You could see that without a libero on the floor for Chicago, the transition offense and second setter duties just not quite as smooth and well communicated. And a couple digs that could have been better offensive chances were only free balls. Got to give credit to Ascension's excellent defense, which has been a theme throughout the match. They lead once again by 2, 16-14 the score. Down the line by Yakumo and out of bounds. And a sigh of relief for Chicago, as that's about the only server that they've had trouble siding out this match. 15-16. Starkey really heating up here, here in set number 3. That jump serve just out of bounds, not very much topspin on that ball at all. And a service sub going to come in here, number 13, Brad Friesen again for Phoenix, replacing Mark Olson. Perfect pass from Weisorek. Weiskircher, sharp cross court. Melcher keeps that in play, impressively so, but he's out of the play. No blocker on the left side, but dumped to the floor by Faulkner. Beautiful, opportunistic setter offense from number 2 in blue. The first time we've seen him throw one of those down on 2 this match, and did it exactly the right time with Phoenix scrambling to get back into play. Nice hustle to stay alive there. But Faulkner mercilessly puts that one away. Haggard roofed by Faulkner. And 2 points in a row for the Icemen captain. We're tied up at 17. Hancock as well there with a great move to their right side. And don't look now, but Chicago's storming back here in set number 3. Haggard again down the line and missed it out of bounds. Overcut it cross body. And a huge run for the Icemen. They lead by 1. No timeout here coming from Phoenix, I think. Rotation 6 received here for the Ascension. Nice rolled serve by Weiskircher, handled by Haggard. Back row to Lewis. Into the block of Weisorek and picked up. And back row attack violation going to be the call against Brian Lewis, stepping on the 3-meter attack line as he jumped to hit that ball. And the run continues for Weiskircher, and that is going to have to be a Phoenix timeout, and it is. 4 straight points for Chicago. They lead by 2, 19-17. Looking to close out this second semifinal in sweeping fashion and earn a date with Team LVC in the championship match this afternoon. Reminder that the loser of this match will play Team Pineapple at 2 p.m. Eastern in about 2 hours for the bronze medal on the weekend. Weiskircher out of the timeout with a 2-point lead. Perfect pass. Yakumo out of the big, dug by Jasitis. Weisorek against 3 blockers, and he puts it away through a small seam. What a dig by Peter Jasitis, and the run continues. Chicago physical on the block again in this match with 8 total stuff blocks through 2.5 sets so far. Phoenix has to get out of this rotation. Lewis again on the right side, and they do. A cross-court put away by number 3 in black. And a big side out of rotation 6. Needing some points on serve here from Melcher. But you've got to look forward to, once Chicago sides out here, can Phoenix get out of rotation 1 immediately and keep themselves alive? Trailing by 2, that's going to be the storyline. High cross-court swing by Weis again, dug it into the ceiling. And an effortless-looking put-away by number 19 in blue, and Chicago leads 21-18. And this is the moment where Chicago can really put this match away. If they can win 1, maybe 2 points on serve against Phoenix's rotation 1, this match is basically over. Serve kept alive by Hancock, and a beautiful put-away by Doherty cross-body. And Phoenix sides out of rotation 1 the first time of asking, and that is huge for their hopes here in set number 3. 19-21, the score with Haggard at the service line. Perfect pass from Weiskircher. Weis again, absolutely unstoppable in the high cross-court angle. Beautiful delivery from Faulkner again, as he's having himself a match here also. 22-19 with the Icemen captain at the service line. Rejection by Weis, barely able to be kept alive. Free ball coming here for Chicago. Poindexter cross body. Nice block touch from Doherty. Phoenix has got to have this. Nice block touch, slows it down. Another chance here for Chicago. Weis again. High angle and a diving Suarez can't keep it alive. Amazing block touches by Chicago this entire match, slowing down attackers just enough to get great transition offensive opportunities. Wonderful work by Brandon Poindexter, moving side to side and getting block touches. And a point on serve. Chicago leading by 4, 2 points away from a 3-0 sweep here in the semifinals. Beautiful pass from Suarez. Doherty again, wrist away right on the sideline. And this traditionally a pretty good service rotation for Phoenix. If they're going to score points on serve, it's going to be either on the serve here of Doherty or of Yakumo a couple rotations from now. The Ascension running out of time here. Hand pass by Weis well off the net. He's out of the play. Starkey against 2 blockers. High off the hands, dug by Haggard. Lewis rolled down the line, picked up by Jositis. Weis on the right, tipped over the top of the block, and picked up by Lewis really well. Melcher could have a good look instead at the offense here. Rolled over by Yakumo. Good rally developing. Weis for set point. Into the block and covered. Starkey is rejected by Lewis. And a huge, potentially match-saving play by the Phoenix Ascension. Brian Lewis registers a stuff block after a crazy rally. And just as I was saying about Phoenix in this service rotation, scrapping, staying alive, digging balls, and scoring a point on the block. Lots of bodies flying all over the floor here. We're going to have to make sure it's dry and safe to keep playing. 21-23. Phoenix by no means out of this thing just yet. But remember, when Chicago sides out here, the server will be Dave Weis. Probably the most lethal server on either team. Good float serve by Doherty again. Starkey on the left side, and a nice high swing off the block and long. And match point coming up here. 24-21. Weis with the honors. He won set number 2 with an ace. Can he do it again here to win the match and send his team to the championship? Phoenix receiving in rotation 3. Just out of bounds in the jump serve, and Phoenix stays alive, but now they need 2 points on serve. It's going to be Brian Lewis. (22-24). Perfect pass from Jositis. Poindexter is blocked. but kept alive somehow. And then tipped to the floor by Weis. I think that's going to be it. Going to be an argument here about the officiating after that clash on the net. I do not know what the call is going to be. Chicago not really celebrating. I think they're expecting this point to go the Phoenix way. And it will. The call, a double contact, I think, on Poindexter as he lost the joust or kind of rolled down his chest and made two distinct touches at the ball. 23-24, Phoenix with their first point on serve. But another match point here for Chicago. Lewis working on Jositis. Weis for the match. Kept alive by Suarez, but not for long, and that's it. The Chicago Icemen with a 3-0 victory over the Phoenix Ascension will play for the championship this afternoon against New York's Team LVC. An impressive performance from Chicago, fighting off every possible push back from the Phoenix Ascension. But it will be Chicago and New York for the gold medal at 5 p.m. Eastern Time later today. Phoenix, after a heck of an effort in this match, are not done yet for the day. They'll play a back-to-back here for bronze at 2 p.m. Eastern, about an hour and 40 minutes away. Really, really good competitive volleyball here from both teams. In the next two matches, the last two matches of the weekend are sure to be much of the same. And before we kill the stream here, I want to get a chance to talk to Icemen captain Tim Faulkner.
Hey there, Rob.
Hey, Timmy. What a match, buddy.
Yeah, a fun one.
Back and forth, the first set you kind of rolled, were given a few free points on Phoenix's service errors, but then they made you earn a lot more. And I was really impressed at how you guys were able to separate in sets 2 and 3 off of great block touches in a transition offense.
It was, we felt it was a pretty similar attitude towards our match against Pineapple the other day, where they started to really make a strong push. We came together and just said, we're not going to panic. We're like, they're going to get their energy going, and they're going to get their points runs, and we're going to settle in and play our game and shut them down.
You in particular kind of came alive there in set 3, blocking the ball, threw one down on the offensive end. You did a great job of getting the right players involved at the right times, including yourself. As a setter, how is it exactly that you know when to do that?
I mean, I'll always say, it really helps to have our service even in system, because if I'm up and contacting the ball as high as I can reach, then I can really give that ball wherever I want to. Honestly, I took a reminder from Ben yesterday and made sure to establish the middles early on in the match, which opens up our pins. And then once you get everybody going, you get those long rallies. And I know I hadn't really dumped all match, and I knew they were going to be sitting waiting for me to chuck it to one of the pins in that kind of scramble rally. So I knew they were going to be sitting back. It was open.
Dan Palikowski in the chat saying Faulkner's stuff on the outside was the momentum changer.
Dan, I believe there were 2 of those. So you're going to have to specify which one was the momentum changer.
Oh, just gotta love that. So one more match
until
you guys accomplish your goals on the weekend.
We're ready.
And bound to be probably the most competitive one that we'll see between you guys and Team LVC. You played on Friday. It was a 5-set barn burner, but I think the level's this time going to be even higher. What are you looking forward to?
I just know from point 1 to the very last point of the match, it's just going to be fire from both sides, and you're going to see a lot of high-energy, fast-paced volleyball with 2 teams that are really prepared to battle it out through a long match. As we've seen from LVC, they had multiple 5-setters early on in the tournament, which is obviously tough for them, but they showed some real mental fortitude there, and we're going to have to do the same.
I agree. I cannot wait for that match, and the bronze match coming up this afternoon. Also going to be really fun, competitive watch. Timmy, thanks. Good luck the rest of the day.
Thank you, sir. See you later.
Dan said, Tim. Dan's like, haha, touche. In the chat. All right, thanks to Tim Faulkner for joining me. Congratulations to the Chicago Icemen advancing to the championship match. We will see you all in about an hour and a half, 2 p.m. Eastern, the bronze match between Team Pineapple and the Phoenix Ascension. Followed up by the climax of the weekend, 5 p.m. Eastern, the gold medal match. We will see you next time. This is Rob St. Clair, reminding you all to follow the league on Instagram at VLA Volleyball. Make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel, not miss any of the action, and we'll see you later.